Good day. My name is Graham. I have been studying evolution all of my life, it seems. It is not such a difficult thing to understand as what people may think it is. In fact, all it is reformatting of the information in the genes through sequential generations, depending on the forces within the environment, whether it's a parental DNA or chromosomes, adding on what they ate, what they know, and all those sorts of things accumulate through the generations to actually are then adapted in to the next generation. People think that evolution's just about the mutation, if you like, of the shape of the individual. The mutation of shape is triggered by catastrophic environmental changes, what then means beings or living beings are forced into niches that then forces them to compete within the economics of the environment, and they have to adapt the more dominant genes in being able to compete in that environment and survive and pass on their genetic product, if you like. They will survive in that system. Now, when it comes to humanity, we're supposed to be called the most evolved creature because of our technology, because I can use this camera and I can calculate things and write stories and whatever, play music, whatever, and we can paint and all those sorts of things, and we can build things. But that is only one side, and that's a technical evolution and an artistic evolution and all that, which shows how intelligent we are and how good we are at geometric projections, if you like, of having a thought in our heads and geometrically projecting it into our fingers with music or with our brushes or in our art and our writings. That's what that is. And it's something we have more in common with the basic humble spider that spins its web, and how does it pass its information on to its next generation? If you're a chemical, passes on the chemical memory, but it's picked up immediately within the spider because it has a lot less to learn. It's got to learn to spin a web and catch flies and eat them, and then basically catch another one or whatever and breed on. Our life is far more complicated than that. Our gestation period, which starts in the womb, goes on for quite some time post-birth, if you like. We're still learning. No baby can survive on its own once it's left the womb till quite some time afterwards, when it's learned to adapt to the outer world. What is interesting about evolution is the mistake. It's just about the DNA, and it isn't. Evolution starts in the field, if you like, the field around the DNA is the radar, or that takes the information in or gives it out. If we have a feeling, we give our feelings out. That comes from, because we are one big, large radio field, if you like. We're a field full of waves. I'm giving off a feeling. You can feel it if I'm angry or upset. Even from behind, if you're perceptive enough and open, you can feel people's moods, which means there's far more going on with a persona than first meets the eye, or just within the physical body itself. Where we really evolve, we evolve in our field, in our energy field first. The DNA, then the energy field evolves through our interaction within the environment, the different waves of energies. We're living within an energy jelly, if you like, and these different various waves of energy of different. It doesn't matter what it is. You can go into all the technical details or details about all these different energy, the food we eat, if we've had an argument with the wife, when all sorts of things affect our daily journey through our soul's evolution. It is our soul what evolves. Now, where is our soul? Well, we don't have to be a Christian, I think, to understand that we have a soul, and that the soul, I now suggest, is actually all the field surrounding all our DNA or our cells. If you extract that from a person, you actually have something significant. If you take that from a person, you've got a dead body. In other words, the electromagnetic or field around all our energy, or our body or our cells, is our living being. All the rest of it is just mechanics of the bodily process to keep us moving and active while we're in this body. So it might seem odd to someone saying, "Oh, look, I know where the soul is." But if you think about it for a minute, are we our physical body, or are we our spiritual body? Now, the thing about the mutation of shapes, the mutation from one shape to another through various, let's call it economic niches, and breeding in that particular, if you like, characteristic or dominant gene and whatever it is, if you take that in particular and look at it from another angle altogether, the spiritual body surrounding all the energy surrounding our DNA, then you can see quite clearly that different humans from different backgrounds, they may look similar in appearance. They have a different appearance, of course. We've got all the different races with their racial appearances, but they can still interbreed with all others, which means it's just one species with different variations, different breeds. But if you looked at the energy field of each one, they would be totally different. I don't know what they look like, I have no idea. But the mutation, the evolution has taken place in the energy field that then transfers that information to DNA, which then says next product, organic product of this, of sexual union if you like, will be like this because of the prior input to previous generations, and over the generations, all of that anyone can easily understand, whether it's water, food, environmental, whatever it is, nervous pressures and all sorts of things will then affect down through the generations, depending what's in the grandparents, is then reformatted into the parents, and then reformatted into the third generation. That's why the biblical term, cursed, the sons are cursed by the sins of the fathers, or sins of the grandfathers, to be more accurate. Certainly the sins of the fathers can certainly affect the next generation, but it's the biological sins, if you like, the genetic sins, not sins, but the input in the third generation will affect the mental well-being, the acumen, intelligence and everything else in the third generation. It's a very important thing to understand. Because people who deny that evolution exists are dangerous people, or just simply don't understand it, because if you don't understand it, you can have political forces and media forces and what have you manipulate your thoughts and being to then recess, if you like, negate your own spiritual progress by forcing you emotionally in some way into the feelings you have to be within a collective to exist. Therefore you're negating your own individual intrinsic humanity. The point in that is what is human. Human is this emotional thing, what you feel sorry for, or compassion for other people. Well, it is in a way, but all mammals have that. Otherwise it won't be a mammalian species at all. And we can make friends with birds who sit on our shoulders and become friends with us, with cats, and even fish we can make friends with and get to know us. So that ability to associate with within the emotional field is common to all living things beyond the insects, and all that. It's what is human is the intrinsic instinct to question the environment, what then allows one to adapt according to the circumstances from one's own individual acumen and intelligence and wisdom was being passed down and accumulated through the generations. This is what I suggest is this political correctness is trying to thwart and curtail, and in fact in that sense it is damaging humanity on purpose by saying you can't be an individual anymore, you can't question any number of ideas, political ideas, sexism, climate, ration, all sorts. They can say, oh, you're any one of these things, and they can get a collective to attack you en masse, because even though there are disparate people and different people with different backgrounds and different ideas, they will attack you en masse because they've become a sort of a collective under this PC umbrella. And that's a very, very important matter. PC, in other words, is destroying individual souls' journey to evolve through life and through the generations onwards in a positive and progressive, a real progressive manner that benefits the future generations in a more productive manner, so the future generations are stronger, wiser, more intelligent and more individualistic. Because it is always the individual, the strong individual types will attract the best breeding partners and they make the best children. This is just a biological fact. It's not me being politically incorrect. It might not all be perfect, but the chances are strong, vibrant individuals giving off strong sexual vibration and sexual energy without any other apparatus, without credit cards, without look at my house, without look at my job and all that, without any of that. Just at the naked soul of the individual vibrating their wonderful sexual energy, that in itself indicates to another one who's free from any encumbrances or of feeling what the collective thinks or anyone else thinks about my partner. That natural union that can happen often breeds the best children, and this is just a matter of biological fact. It's not saying anything about anyone, just something that can be actually observed. Now, the thing about the soul, the thing about humans is that we're evolving. Our soul is going through a journey, a long, long journey, and we're through many, many generations, maybe thousands of years, and it continues on. The soul cannot die, in other words. The energy field may dissipate into the ether when our body no longer can function in this plane, and it collapses into what we call death. But the energy around it, whether that's gone, whether the body, is a different matter altogether. And that's the one that people need to look after most, is our spiritual energy, as best you can. You know, what you think, what you feel, how you act, how healthy and fit you are, what you eat, and all those, and how you are with your partners. Because to me, it's not the technical revolution or evolution that denotes whether we're an advanced species or not, but how nice we are to each other, whether we're going to be threatened by war all the time by belligerent and dishonest politicians who are only done have to keep the people in fear and suppress their natural natures to be nice to each other. The politicians need, in a democracy now, for two sides to be horrible to each other. And because they say, well, you can vote for us, we're better than them, or you can vote for us, we're better than them, we're not them. So they've differentiated democracy itself to destroy it. The politicians themselves are actually destroying the democratic, or the evolution of the democratic process. And what you're saying, what's this to do with evolution? Every single thing, because people behind this are very clever. They know how evolution works. They know evolutionary theory, and they know by putting certain programs in through the media and through everything else that comes through, that then they can basically deprogram, if you like, human from being human, and human, they can stop humans questioning authority, and that then reduces one's humanity to oneself, and therefore will reduce one's humanity to the rest of the human race. Regardless of political correctness looking nice to everyone, it seems to be about totally dividing society among nefarious lines that, if analysed properly, scientifically and rationally, don't actually make any sense at all. But that's a rough guide to what evolution is and what the soul's journey is, and I can do this for as long as it takes to convince, and I can easily use a chalk and boards and whatever to explain this to further, so I can legitimise what I'm actually saying and trying to say to people in this. I've spent a lifetime studying evolution. I'm also maybe a Christian, I might be a Buddhist, but I might be a Taoist as well. And some say I might be a Muslim. It all depends. We can't disagree with all of them all the time about everything. They've all got great parts to them. Myself, I'm just an individual who likes to observe, work out the facts for myself. I don't believe any politician, I don't believe any media. I do my own research, because I'm an individual born to question. We are all born to question. That much makes us human. Take your right to question away and you've removed the basic intrinsic human right to be human. Whoever reads this or watches this, good luck to you. Try to consider what I'm saying this, because I'm just saying it, I'm just passing on a message. That's all I'm doing. The message is, be kind to each other, be kind to animals, be kind to trees, be kind to birds, be kind to our environment. We can't stop climate change if it's caused by the sun and earth differences and the moon and solar doing their thing. That's a different matter. If you want to go about that, that's up to you. Myself, we're born into the time we must adapt into. We must learn how to adapt into the times we're born into, not told by politicians or some authority how we must adapt. That always backfires on the authority, and certainly backfires on the people who are then used as victims. People in collectives are victims of a manipulation by a very inhuman authority, if you like, that has no actual respect for human nature other than its own survival. And that in itself tells you they understand evolution. Thank you.